Yesterday in Chicopee, crews working to put out a brush fire that spread across nearly 8 acres along the Mass Turnpike, leaving traffic in both directions at a highway standstill. Crews were dispatched to the scene at around 1:15 on Thursday afternoon. Slate Street in Chicopee was closed to traffic as firefighters were working to clear that scene. Officials report the fire is under control, but the cause of it remains under investigation. Moving over to Munson now, and that is where crews arrived to a scene shortly before noon, and mutual aid was called in from Palmer, Wilbraham, Three Rivers, and Bondsville. After around 45 minutes or so, a fire there was under control. Now, no injuries have been reported because of that fire. 2 people were displaced, and they're now being assisted by the American Red Cross. And just a quick reminder, Friday Night Frenzy is tonight, and we'll have your game of the week, we'll have your player of the week. Join us at 11 and 11 for all of your local sports highlights. And I don't know about you, Dan, but when I was playing football in high school, weather like this, I would take it, especially what we had like yesterday. Today, I don't know if that's...
Yeah, no, today it's going to be, it's really going to be a nice evening for football. Obviously, grab the jackets, it'll be cooling off.
Yeah.
Not as warm as it was earlier in the week, but of course the big story continues to be the fires, the brush fires, right? Yeah. When you have these kinds of conditions, it leads to beautiful days, but it also leads to the elevated brush fire threat.
You've been telling us about these alerts that are the red flag warnings and things like that, and there's just the risk for these brush fires.
Right, and the problem with the conditions is that, yes, it's really dry, right? And then when you have the wind can cause these fires just to fan out and to spread quickly. And we're going to have winds gusting about 30 miles per hour today. But, having said that, it's a beautiful start to our day. Look at that, tons of sunshine. And temperatures are started in the 30s, so a little cooler this morning, but going to be up probably into the low to mid 60s this afternoon. So readings are going to be still running above normal. Normal's about 52. I think we get there tomorrow. We're going to be going down tomorrow and for Sunday, so certainly cooler. But this afternoon, with winds out of the west-southwest at 10 to 15, gusts to 30, low relative humidity, dry ground with the windy conditions that actually just will promote the brush fire threat, especially with all the leaves on the ground. When they dry out like that, it doesn't take much. Case in point, we had that nasty one along the pike yesterday.
You can feel the dryness in the air. So.
Yeah. No, relative humidities will be coming down as well. So tons of areas across the country that are dealing with some sort of drought. This is the latest drought monitor that came out yesterday. In fact, our situation, I went right by it. I didn't set it up. But anyway, in terms of us, we're under a moderate drought and a severe drought. So it's a 2 or 3 on that scale from 1 to 5. But when it comes to brush fires, it's really, what have you done for me lately? It only takes like a couple of weeks of dry conditions and then the gusty breezes, and that's what, it doesn't take a lot. And then when you add in the fact that it's been so long without rainfall, it just exacerbates it that much
for
more.
This drought, is this usually exceeding the length of the typical drought that we've had?
What's interesting is it's not so much the drought itself that's crazy. It's the number of brush fires that have come with it. And can't quite put my finger on why that is, because we have had droughts that have been longer.
Yeah.
We've gone into the
more severe.
If I back this up, we've gone into the extreme and exceptional.
Yeah.
And we haven't had brush fires like this.
Interesting.
And usually when you get the brush fires, it's in the springtime when the relative humidities are lower in the afternoon, but you still have those warm days and you have that higher sun angle.
Yeah.
So we have had a lot of wind, and of course that goes along with it too.
And those warmer days that you mentioned.
And the warmer days. So lower sun angle, leaves on the trees, too. Sometimes you don't get the sun beating down on the forest floor, but now, of course, a lot of those leaves are coming down. So it's, very unusual, especially for this time of year, to have this many brush fires that have been ongoing. So you say, okay, when is it going to end? Well, we'll get some relief from the brush fire threat Sunday night into Monday, because we're going to get like a 1/4 inch rain, which isn't a lot, but that helps and goes a long way, not so much for the drought, but for the brush fire threat. Yeah. So fire concerns into the weekend, cooler, more seasonable this weekend. It's not going to be quite as windy tomorrow, so the brush fire threat anyway is a little bit lower. And then Sunday will probably fall to the dew point, and we'll have a lot of frost Sunday morning, so the ground will be wet from that as it melts. The breeze will pick up a little bit in the afternoon and will dry out quickly, so we still have an elevated brush fire there as well. And then it's Sunday night, well after dark, at least some showers and a period of rain. We'll pick up about a 1/4 inch of rainfall. So again, doesn't do a whole lot for the drought, but it does go a long way in kind of tampering down on the brush fire threat. The weather, David, though, beautiful. When you have brush fire threats, it usually means the weather is great. I mean, it usually means you've been dry and we've seen a lot of sunshine and low relative humidities. And we actually have a front coming through tonight with just a chance of a stray shower. What else is new? Another cold front coming through with very little, if any, rainfall that'll do nothing. I mean, most spots will just stay dry. It'll cool us off, though, into the 30s tomorrow morning. You say, well, this morning was in the 30s. The difference is tomorrow we do not come up nearly as much. Temperatures will top off in the low to mid 50s. So right now we're sitting at 57. We'll come up another 10 degrees or so. You can see some of the showers across eastern Canada. Not much with that front, but it does drop down this afternoon. And out ahead of it, it's windy. Then behind of it, it's brisk. High pressure will work in tomorrow, so the wind will be a little bit lighter into Saturday night. And that'll set us up for a cold start Sunday morning. And then Sunday afternoon, clouds increase. And wouldn't you know it, here comes some showers and rain. Will that hold together? I think it will, at least somewhat. There we go, 8, 9 o'clock Sunday evening into Monday morning. Perhaps some of that rainfall. Rain totals will be unimpressive, but we'll take a third of an inch to a quarter of an inch of rainfall. We'll take what we can get. So today, 58 to 65, mostly sunny, dry, and windy. The red flag warning in effect until this evening. Then for tomorrow in the morning, we start probably in the 30s. We don't go up a whole lot, lower 50s. It's brisk, it's dry, so probably not a red flag warning tomorrow, more so elevated brush fire threat. That's like one step below a red flag warning. And then clear and cold tomorrow night. We start near 20 or lower 20 Sunday. They're heading off to an early morning service. It's going to be chilly. Anything you're doing Sunday morning, we will come up into the low to mid 50s in the afternoon. It gets breezy again, so probably not a red flag warning, but again, an elevated brush fire threat. And then the showers come in and maybe a period of rain Sunday night into Monday morning, so I don't think we have to worry about that for Veterans Day. We're starting mild since it is a warm front near 50. On Veterans Day, we'll come up into the mid 60s, a damp start. It'll become breezy in the afternoon. We are drying out, but the ground probably will take a while to dry out. So elevated, the brush fire threat will be lower Monday. Might come back up Tuesday and Wednesday, though. And then Thursday and Friday, there's the potential for a rainstorm. That is what we need. Maybe a good soaking, but that is still a week away. And the way things have been going,
Never know.
most I can say is cautiously optimistic that we'll get a good rain event in here at that point. So it has been, no doubt, a dry, extremely dry fall. September was the driest on record. October, the third driest. And so far this November, I mean, dry as a bone, right? Wow. And it's been warm on top of that, too. So.
All right, so today, though, going to be nice.
Yeah, nice for all the outdoor events. You go to the football game, grab the jacket tonight. You'll need it, but it's going to be good football weather.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, sounds good to do it for us. We will be back at noon, ABC 40. See you then.